Some of them, if not all of them, probably wrestled at some point. What are the life lessons, Coach?
Well, I think wrestling is, in my mind, one of the greatest sports because it gives an individual confidence, and it's just mano a mano. It's just one man against another, and in this particular case with Andrew Howe, it's one giant man against another. Michael Duckworth from Union County is a great wrestler. He did a heck of a job to get here, pulled off some big wins, but Andrew Howe is just the class of Indiana this year.
Well, Andrew Howe, 4 technical falls last year in his state championship. He racked up 91 points. He won the championship 26-9. No one has ever won by technical fall 3 times, let alone 4. A 130 champion in 2005, a 140 champion in 2006, and a 152-pound champion in 2007. And, boy, what a mat tactician this young man is.
Yes, and he's chosen to go to Wisconsin to continue after this evening. And Andrew Howe is just a class individual, too. He works, and it's pretty obvious what he does. But his total dominance, he is so good on his feet. He has 2 technical falls and a pin to his credit on this weekend. And as you said last weekend, 4 technical falls. And these are against the very best wrestlers in the state. And he's that dominant.
I seem to remember a couple of years ago, as in one of the upper weight classes, some kid from a program in southern Indiana by the last name of Maurer that used to be able to rack up some points on a pretty consistent basis, huh?
Well, real proud of I've had more good times than any coach deserves, and Blake Maurer is one of the great success stories for our program.
Fun to watch.
Oh, my. And, his teammate and a grade school teammate, Matt Coughlin, is wrestling for IU right now, just won a match at Iowa, is here today in attendance. So it's really a thrill. And, of course, Greg Schaefer, the new coach for Mater Dei, is a 2-time state champion in his own right. Wrestled for me back in the 90s, and he wrestled at IU. So a lot of those good stories that I've been able to witness. But and we're watching another great story right now for Hanover Central.
Points continue to come for Andrew Howe. He's quickly up 6-2 as we get ready for the closing point of the first period. Go back to talking about the difference in this sport as compared to the traditional stick and ball sports. No teammate to blame. You don't have to wait for anybody to pass you the ball. You don't have to go get a rebound. Don't have to worry about anybody blocking for you. Coaching enters into it a lot, but it's certainly, as you said, you can be as good as you want to be most often, and win or lose, 9 times out of 10, you really have only yourself to blame, and you get all the grief and all the glory both at the same time. And I think that's where the character building comes in.
Oh, I think there's no doubt. To step on a mat, especially, when you get a great athlete like Howe here who's going to dominate, you think that's outstanding. But for an individual to step out who doesn't have maybe the same talent level or same physique, but to step out and go man-to-man and do his very best, that takes a lot of character. And I think that's one of the things that we stress, or always have stressed. The wrestling defines an individual. It's such a consuming sport. Wrestlers, coaches, families, they live, diet, almost every aspect of it demands so much. And I think a lot of guys who make it through wrestling can make it through just about anything else life might present.
Well, let's talk about Michael Duckworth. He's going to take a lot away from this experience, getting to wrestle this young man here tonight. And he's just a sophomore.
He is. And we're talking about young guys getting to this level, and how many sophomores have we seen already in the state finals? So that means it bodes well for the future. A lot of excitement coming, but Andrew Howe's now leading 10-3, and he's not doing anything to Duckworth that he hasn't done to the rest of his opponents. But Duckworth's probably approaching this. You asked earlier if taking second would be acceptable. I don't think it is, but I think when reality sets in, Duckworth's trying to do the best he can against just a superior athlete.
12-4 your score. We mentioned 4 technical falls a year ago, 91 points total, 26-9 in the final. Explain exactly what a technical fall is, how that occurs.
Well, technical falls when you outscore your opponent by a minimum of 15 points. The referees stop the match at that point, and Howe's been that dominant. Now, he's not necessarily a great pinner. He gets some near fall points, which looks like he's going to try to do right now with a little tilt. I don't know if he scored there or not. No, it didn't count it.
Still up 12-4, though, as we get ready for the final period.
But to score technical falls at the rate that Andrew Howe scores them, it means he's got to be so great on his feet, and that's going to make him such a great collegiate wrestler as well. And I know he's already competed against a lot of college wrestlers in this country, and he's done quite well. So we're going to see a lot more of him at the next level and perhaps the international level. I know that's his goal. Nice single leg. And Duckworth tries to roll through.
He just always looks in control, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
You know, from the time the first whistle blows, he's never not in control of what's going on in the match.
I'd say that's a pretty good observation, Mark. He is in control. He is a commanding or demanding wrestler. He controls the tempo. He's pummeling the head now. He's setting up a shot. There's a nice double. Follows through. He could probably pick up the leg and step to a Turk if he desired, but he's got an arm Turk. 16-6. He's going to get back points, perhaps. Near side cradle. Nope.
Under a minute to go now. 16-6 your score.
Yes. So Howe goes back to Old Faithful. He cuts Duckworth, and he's going to try to shoot again. Now he's got Duckworth in bad position. Working the head.
23-5 the score. A technical fall for him in the semifinal round.
Nice single. There's 2-point takedown. And I think he's going to try to do it again.
18-7 the score.
The thing about Howe is he is that dominant as far as a wrestler goes, but he is not one who belittles his opponent or tries to humble his opponent. He just goes out and wrestles. And really, in a lot of ways, is a tribute to wrestle against a guy of this caliber.
Boy, and he doesn't leave much on the mat, does he?
No.
I mean, you can tell he's gotten after it a little bit.
Yes.
Releases him to give him the escape point, makes it 18-8 now. 30 seconds left.
If Duckworth can hang on, he'd be the first in 2 years to go the distance. It's a major decision. Now it's 20-8. The cut comes. It's an 11-point lead. 19 seconds left. He can probably do it. Another takedown.
22-9 with 10 seconds left.
Well, I don't know if you can call that a moral victory, getting beat 22-9, but it's the first individual in 2 years to go the distance.
Going to have his hand raised. The center of the mat. Third straight state titles for Andrew Howe of Hanover Central. That final, 20 to...
County's Michael Duckworth. And our champion this year is someone we've become quite familiar with over the last couple of years. Let's get the champ up on the podium so we can talk about it for a moment. One of the things we were going through when we were doing introductions earlier this evening was some of the college commitments. This is one we skipped over, but we do